Hey guys, so today I'm here and I'm going to be making another video. Today it's an election prediction, as you can see, between Donald Trump, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. And I'm just going to say right now, this of course would not be good for the Democratic Party because of all the vote splitting. So let's go ahead and get started with states we know that are not going to flip. Actually, first let's go to Trump's states, because he's actually going to have the most safe states when you think about it. And also, he's not going to lose a single state that he won in 2016. So all of the toss-ups from 2016 that he won, like Georgia, Florida, Arizona even to some extent, yeah, as you can see, none of those are going to be toss-ups anymore. Now, if it was just Warren versus Trump or just Sanders, sure, we would have a very different story. But it's not. It's Warren as a Democrat and Sanders as an independent against Trump. So it is not going to unfold well for the Democratic Party. And yeah, the Rust Belt, they may vote more Democratic, but unfortunately, the party vote is going to be split. So we have Trump at 276. What have I forgotten? Oh, Florida. Yeah. So there you go. And I'll fill in. Come on. I'll fill in Maine in a second here. So, yeah, Donald Trump would not lose a single state. Now, the reason I was talking about Maine, I do think Warren would still hold on to the 1st congressional district. So there you go. She has her first electoral vote. And Donald Trump is at 308 now. So he has flipped not the 1st congressional district. She would win that. He would still win the 2nd, but he would also flip the state of Maine, which is the 2 electoral votes from the popular vote. Now, I unfilled Hawaii because I wanted to start from Maine, but Hawaii would still go to Warren. California, I think, would still go to Warren. Same for the rest of the West Coast, although there would still be a lot of vote splitting, and the margins could be very narrow in all those states. Now, Illinois is a state that votes more traditionally Democratic, so they would still probably go to Warren, as would her home state of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, District of Columbia, of course. And New York as well, because I think it's to some extent the same as Illinois. It's definitely a liberal state, a Democratic state, but it's not that kind of liberal, that, progressive. Now, Warren is still a very progressive candidate, so, So now we come to some of the more interesting states. These are all Clinton states from 2016. So we're going to go to Vermont. Vermont is interesting because I think Bernie Sanders would actually take the 3 electoral votes. So it's his home state. It's very progressive. And I do think he would win, actually. I really do. Yeah. So now we go to all the other states that were Clinton states. New Hampshire vote would be split. Oh, sorry. I clicked Vermont. New Hampshire vote would be split, and it would go to not Bernie Sanders, I'm sorry, Donald Trump. Sorry, I keep clicking Vermont. Okay, there we go. Donald Trump would win New Hampshire. Now, New Mexico, I do think Warren would hang on to. I'm so used to clicking it twice to get it Democratic. Anyway, yeah, so I think Warren would still hang on to New Mexico, probably. Then we come to the rest of these states. So let's go to, what I'm going to do for these last 4 states is I'm going to start with the state that I think would be by the biggest margin and go down to the state with the smallest. So I think the biggest margin state would be Nevada. I think Trump would carry that state by with 6 electoral votes. His approval ratings are surprisingly high for a Clinton state, and I don't know. And like I said, the vote splitting would just, absolutely demolish the Democratic Party and the Democratic Party vote. So I think that would definitely go to Trump. Then we come to a state, let's go to Minnesota. Let's go to Minnesota. Trump came, and I don't know the exact numbers, but Trump was within a couple percentage points in Minnesota. It was a very close state. And so I really think if Trump could have a performance even similar to the one he had in 2016, then the vote splitting would do the rest of it. And so I do think Donald Trump would carry the state of Minnesota. 10 electoral votes. Then we go to Colorado. I think this would be the next smallest margin. And he could carry Minnesota to, I would say, up to 5 points. I could see that as a possible option. So then we go to Colorado, where it was a Clinton state. I just don't see Warren being able to carry this. New Mexico, Colorado, and Nevada. Those are the three sort of western swing states. They all lean Democratic, and Clinton won them all. Not surprising. But I really do think, well, the most liberal of them is New Mexico, and the most conservative of them is Nevada, really. But Colorado, because of the vote splitting, I really think that speaks for itself. I really think Trump would win that and flip it. And then we come to Virginia, another incredibly close state. I can't see Warren pulling out a win. Well, hang on. Then again, I don't know how much they would actually vote for Sanders in Virginia. That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, because the thing is, Warren and Sanders are both very progressive, and I could see some low turnout in Virginia, possibly. You know, I don't know. I think the vote splitting would give Trump a 1. I would say he would win the state, but I would say best case scenario, he wins by 2%. So, that is my prediction for 2020, Trump versus Warren versus Sanders as an independent. And I think this would be disastrous for the Democratic Party, and I'm sure Bernie Sanders knows that, and if he does run, and if he doesn't win the Democratic nomination, I'm sure he wouldn't, run as an independent, because, like I said, he knows that this would happen, so I don't think that this will happen, but, that's my prediction for if that's how the candidates turned out to be. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.